Astra? Did you find a piece of paper? Did you find a piece of paper? You did, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. So it's a little late start, but I've had a couple later nights. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I hit 8 o'clock and I get my second wind. Like, what is that? But I've adjusted something, so I'm hoping that that means tonight I will sleep at 8:30 like I'm supposed to. So my name is Red Moon Eagle. This is Daily Devotional. This is Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. We are in the wheel of preparation, the tide of preparation from the fall equinox to the winter solstice. I would really love it if you would subscribe and hit the bell icon. And I thank everybody for joining me today. So today's card, well, so you're gonna think this is funny, but, or maybe not, maybe it's weird. At least 3 times a week, I draw this card, the Nightingale, and I put it back in the box because I draw it 3 times in a week. I'm like, I'm not doing the Nightingale 3 days in the week. And I got curious today, and I thought, I know I've drawn it before, but what does it mean in this deck? Fearless voice, speech, communication. And what am I doing every morning? Daily devotional. So I think it's funny. Okay, today's card is Dolphin. Dolphin is innately intelligent, healer, light, blessings. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and energy working on the level of the spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important part in the wheel of karma that coming into contact with dolphin types will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on its way. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates their own power to bring into balance like-minded spirits. Perfect. Good morning, good morning. I feel like I need to sing. My dad used to sing that song sometimes to me. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. And I am a terrible singer. But I feel like somehow this morning I need to be singing. And I didn't get very much sleep last night, so I don't know why I'm all singy. Fascinating. Okay, the book from Medicine Heart is number 6, Dragon's Gate. Your effort shall bear bountiful, blessed fruit beyond your current expectations. Rest when necessary, but refuse to turn away from your goal out of fear or fatigue. Acknowledge how far you have come, and you will gain confidence in your capabilities to go even further on your path. Trust the inner urge to venture forth towards your heart's calling. Although you cannot see it, you are close to crossing a significant threshold, overcoming a long-standing obstacle, and experiencing an irreversible liberation. What your heart seeks is within reach. Do not give up. So the animal on the card is a koi fish. Aren't they pretty? Koi fish? Koi fish were brought to Japan from China, and between these two cultures, they share a powerful mythological medicine for teaching the soul. In Chinese and Japanese myth, the great schools of thousands of koi were swimming upstream, gaining strength through pushing against the currents. Once the fish reached the end of the river, they encountered the intensity of a great waterfall. Sensing the difficulty and danger ahead, most turned back, choosing to swim downstream with the current. Others persisted. Legend states that these koi kept swimming against the waterfall for 100 years. Eventually, one koi was able to leap to the top of the waterfall, and as a reward, the gods transformed it into a dragon. This signifies the attainment of extraordinary and rare success. The falls are the Dragon's Gate, the alchemical point where the strength and determination to persevere and attract divine blessings of remarkable grace, providing transformation and triumph over all odds. Koi attracts the divine blessing to become a heavenly dragon through courage, endurance, will, and exertion. These are qualities of the shamanic soul. Perseverance distinguishes the initiate from the novice and allows the soul to become empowered rather than undermined by the challenges faced on a spiritual path. Although you may wonder if you have what it takes, the oracle foretells of only truly tremendous accomplishments if you make the choice to continue on your quest. Yes, Astra. Yes, Astra, I'm over here. Also, like the shamanic soul, koi adapt to a variety of conditions. The red koi is associated with passionate love, bravery, power, and the ability to overcome a challenge. If you need to find your inner strength to deal with a difficult situation, you are guided to tap into inspiration, gift, and empowerment of what you love. Love strengthens the soul and is the antidote to fatigue and fear. Be inspired and motivated by love, and you will stay the course where others may turn back out of fear. The oracle foretells a potential paradigm shift and a destined spiritual rebirth into a completely different cycle of your life. Turn your mind towards your heart, processing and releasing allegiance to the past as you ready yourself for the intervention of divine grace. In Celtic mythology, the octopus is linked to the dragon and is symbolic of creation myths and unknown realms of potential symbolism by the ocean's depths. In Hawaii mythology, the octopus is the only living being that survived the transformation of the former world into this world. Like the koi that became the dragon, it can bear the rigors of transformation and successfully merge into the other side. The shamanic purpose of individual transformation is to empower the soul to heal collective, that the human was born in to serve spirituality. The koi provides the medicine for the individual rebirth. The octopus provides the soul medicine for enduring the rebirth of the collective. Together, they are potent empowerments for the shamanic soul and a sign that your personal healing work is part of your greater spiritual purpose in supporting the evolution of the human collective. I love that. So octopus and koi are the animals on that card. Cool beans, huh? Love that. I have a story actually, but I don't know if I should tell that story this morning. Let me think about this. So we have Dolphin, which is, let's get back to Dolphin. So Dolphin is, the gifts of the dolphin are beyond what your human mind can grasp. The dolphin often draws you to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and energy working on the level of spirit. These creatures play an important role in the wheel of karma, that coming into contact with dolphin types will change the entire course of your day, thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. So spiritual, transformer, healing, emotionally intelligent, and then Dragon's Gate, which is perseverance, going the whole journey, the transformation with the octopus. Your efforts shall bear fruit. Rest when necessary. Acknowledge how far you've come. Trust the inner urge to venture forth. You are close to a significant threshold. Cool. So, yeah, I think I will tell that story. So, many years ago, I lived on the coast. Well, I didn't live on the coast. I lived 2 hours from the coast, but I drove to the coast all the time. Anyway, I lived in the South, and the beach where I lived was 2 hours away at the most. I think it was more like an hour and a half if you drove really, really fast, which I can't say that I didn't do. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was eating seafood on the coast. And one of the things that I witnessed was octopus was eaten. And I have always had a visceral response to people trying to eat that particular animal. And I've never been able to explain it. And I had an experience years later. I was I had a friend who had a huge saltwater tank, and she had not a baby octopus, but it's a smaller octopus. I mean, his body was probably about that big, so his arms were like that big, and he was absolutely delightful. I apologize. She was absolutely delightful, and they are so intelligent and they are so amazing, and I have had this place in my heart for octopus for years. And interestingly enough, that octopus is still alive. They actually live a really long time sometimes when they're taken care of, and those in the wild can also live a really long time. I don't know why that story was important, but I think one of the big things that I get from this card combination, have you decided to join? From this card combination is that perseverance with joy, I think, is one of the big things. Like the koi story of, getting to the top of the waterfall and becoming a dragon, like the transformation process of holding through a difficult journey. And in spirituality, in any kind of personal growth, internal personal growth, it can be really daunting to keep at it because it can seem extraordinarily lonely. I know that there have been times in my life that even though I was around a lot of people, I felt very much alone, or I had one or two friends, that I considered friends, but a lot of acquaintances. I knew a lot of people. I was very social. I've always been very social, but that didn't mean I felt like people understood. And there were even times in my life where I felt like nobody was getting it. Nobody was understanding exactly how much pain and how much agony and how lonely I was. And I've been truly very lonely a couple times in my life, and it's awful, and I would not recommend it. But I also, as the years have gone by and I have trusted the transformation process, not always 100%, I've definitely had my dark times. And in those coming out the other end, the realization that I kind of had to go through it. I did. I don't think everybody does, but I did. I had to go through these really dark times. I tried to commit suicide once, which is not something anybody usually talks about on the internet, but I did because it was a awful, awful dark time in my life, and I felt very alone, and I felt very much like nothing I could do was going to make anything change. And the slog of this world was too much. Obviously, I didn't succeed. Obviously, I'm still here. And the journey to get where I am now is a place that, or the journey, how I got here is nearly 50 years of doing fine, not doing fine, doing fine, not doing fine, doing fine, not doing fine, in the mental, spiritual place. And the spiritual transformation that happens as you grow is very much the dichotomy of you're the only one living in your meat suit. You're the only one that can do it. In juxtaposition to you're surrounded by all these people, and they all have advice, and they all have tips, and they all have things that they say. They're like, well, if you just do this, well, if you just do that, and if you just do this, and if you just do that. Oh my goodness, if I could log all the things that people have just told me to do, but I had to figure it out myself. And one of the things that I learned is that I wasn't as alone in the slog as I thought I was, because there have always been people that are growing and changing and manifesting and transforming in their life. I'm surrounded by people that are doing it. It's just that everybody, for a good chunk of my life, they were doing it over there, so to speak, right? Like somewhere in another place that's not where I'm at. So I felt really alone. I had no support. Nobody talked to me about these things. And I was seeking out help. And in many parts of my journey, I have been an active seeker. Help me, help me, help me. Something is wrong. It shouldn't be like this. And part of that journey has also been, well, if I make it, right? If I get to the other side of whatever this slog is, and this things are easy, things are hard, things are easy, things are hard. If I ever get to the other side of this, I'm not going to let anybody who reaches out to me do it alone. And so I do try very hard to not let people around me do it alone. So that's, another place of where daily devotions came from. The idea that as I work through these cards, as I work through themes, as I think about them, I go, what did I experience that I can share in that transformation process, in that slog, in that coy journey of swimming upstream? And it feels like you're the only one doing it for such a long time. And finally you leap, and there is a transformation process. There is something that happens when you finally take that leap. And for each person, I think it's a little bit different. For me, it was a combination of release and a combination of acceptance that the meat suit journey, the earth suit journey, is what it is. And I can grasp hold of those clarity moments. So remember when I said it was easy and then it wasn't, it was easy and then it wasn't? I could gather up all the easies and I could put them all in one pile. And I could gather up all the hards and I could look at them and say, aha, there's your lesson in that hard bit. And I still untangle that. I mean, there's a reason I recommend counseling to pretty much everybody. And everybody finds a different one because there are different counselors for different kinds of people. And why different techniques work for different people. The journey is difficult, but it is not impossible. And it can be extraordinarily rewarding to get to the place where you can take a deep breath and you can look back at the journey and you can say, I'm not done with my journey, but I can look at all those easy and hard parts and they're collected in a place that makes sense now. I can look back and go, oh, that's what that was for. Oh, what that was for. And I'm not nearly at the end of my life. I have so much to do. So I look at all the amazing potentialities of the journey next. And I think that's where the other piece of that card is with Dolphin, is when you collect all these experiences and you're able to reflect on them, and you are in that place of releasing the ideological perspective that you're alone, which I had to work through that, and allow my connection, you allow your connection, I allow my connection, like threads in a web, for all the experiences that I've had to get me to today. There's always the potential right angle curve for tomorrow. That, this is a new choice. I can go over here now. And that going over here now is a journey. And it's a journey and a trust and a place of grace. And it's beautiful. and you let go of the fear. I think that's the big thing in that part of the journey, is letting go of the fear. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. Come solstice, just a quick note, come solstice, I am probably going to be getting to the place where I'm going to switch decks. And I have some already, but I'm thinking about ordering another one. And if any of you have suggestions for decks that you would like to see me maybe go through, I mean, I've been contemplating combining decks and seeing what happens with that energy. I'm going to stick to the animal spirit guidebook deck because I love those animal cards. But if you have other animal cards you would like me to maybe get, I'm thinking about getting 2 more decks. So 1 oracle deck and maybe an animal deck, or maybe not an animal deck and 2 different oracle decks. So I would love to have your input. So always put comments in if you have questions. And hopefully, with the adjustment of what's happened, I will be on a little bit earlier tomorrow rather than right at the tail end of my window and into the next window. I'm running late already. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you in prayer. Blessed be.